term cloud has become fairly ubiquitous in our normal lives. You don't need to work in the telecommunications industry to be exposed to this cloud terminology. But what exactly is the cloud? It's got to be something tangible. Well, to understand what the cloud is, we need to look back a little bit in terms of how computing has evolved. And in the early days of computing, we had dedicated pieces of hardware which were bought to perform a specific role, to host a specific application. Now, the problem with this approach is it's not very scalable. The more applications that we have that need to be supported within, for example, an enterprise, well, the more pieces of hardware that we need. It becomes difficult to scale, it becomes difficult to maintain. So we saw the introduction of virtualization. These computers that we had as hardware now suddenly run as a virtualized platform, a virtualized machine. Now, to run a virtualized machine, we still need hardware, but the hardware is now shared. We now take a server which can provide compute and storage and network resources, and on that server we can actually deploy multiple virtual machines. And each of these virtual machines are running just as a computer would. They can host various applications as necessary, but we don't have maybe 3 separate pieces of hardware, we just have one, the common server. And this was really the birth of cloud computing. Cloud computing just takes all of this one step further. So instead of one server, we actually have data centers that are full to the brim of servers, lots and lots of shared compute, networking and storage resources all in one place. Now, cloud computing has been widely facilitated by the notion of hyperscale organizations like Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud, to name but 3. These are organizations which own data centers, huge data centers, which can offer massive amounts of compute and networking and storage resources. The key point is that this cloud of resources, it now no longer needs to be at a specific premises for an organization. They can outsource all of their hardware to one of these hyperscale organizations, which means that the whole headache of managing hardware, managing updates to the hardware, managing end-of-life hardware and such like, it's just no longer a problem for that organization. And as such, we see 2 kinds of approaches to cloud. We see the hyperscale approach where data center resources are outsourced, but also we still see organizations with their own cloud. Remember, all that our cloud is a whole bunch of servers providing compute, storage and networking resources.